Hi guys, so we are going to read Captain Arsenio, Inventions and Misadventures in Flight. The fact that they put the title, that part of the title that says Miss in parentheses is super important because this could say Captain Arsenio, Inventions and Adventures in Flight. But there's something about this dude that's making it a misadventure, and it's kind of like a not adventure. If it's not an adventure, it's something else. All right. So in Captain Arsenio, this week we're going to look at text features and inferencing. Along with, we'll look at the vocabulary, and we're going to set a purpose for our reading. So what on earth is a text feature? Well, a text feature could be the subtitles. They're all over this story, just everywhere. And then there's a pull-out set of quotes. And there are, we can see, of course, in this textbook that there are highlighted vocabulary words. That's mostly for student use. And there are even, if it'll go faster for us, there are even charts and graphs in Captain Arsenio. So I'm not going to wait for it, but you'll see that Captain Arsenio, he like goes up it's kind of like he's going up a mountain in a graph. He gets better and better and better and better, and then he fails. All right. So, and they have diagrams that they've labeled, like this one, he weighs 95 kilograms. We'll go to the next one. Okay, here's a flight diary. It's in chronological order. So it's by phase 1, phase 2, and how long each step took. And there is even a note at the bottom of the chart. So that's really important as a text feature. And you're going to think, well, why? What does this have to do with the story? And why would they have all these subtitles everywhere? Here we have project number 1, Moto Canary. Well, you have to use your inferencing skills to think about, well, what on earth might that mean? The Moto Canary was an ingenious experiment that demanded a lot of work, and you can read on, but we can also use the images to help us determine what it is talking about, to infer. There are lots of other ways to infer. You can use the pronouns he, she, it, they. You can use what just happened. Does this mean that he crashed because maybe the screws weren't screwed in correctly? I think that's why he crashed. That didn't happen, by the way. This genre, this is a fantasy. It's like science fiction fantasy. And it's all about rewriting history and adding this guy into history. And fantasies are really imaginative, and they contain characters and events that are not real and never could be real. And they often include lots of sensory details like your smell, touch, taste, sight, hearing, to just as descriptors. So what do we think? What might this story be about? So we see a guy that says diesel electric locomotive. We've got, he's wearing, it looks like it's strapped around him. So this rocket is strapped to his body. I love the artwork. It's so cool. And he cranks it up. It looks like it's got a 5 on it. A diesel electric. So it's electric. It's a locomotive. I know a locomotive is kind of like an engine. Diesel is a type of gasoline. He's got old-fashioned shoes on. He's got a useless helmet it looks soft and it's not even attached to his head because he can't latch it under his rather large chin. We can see that he has a massive underbite and a nose that could poke something and make it bleed. It's so sharp. I think that's just illustration. So what might we be in for? Let's see. I'm going to go back. Let's see. Captain Arsenio. Captain. It's about. This is about a man named Captain, or called Captain. Oh my gosh, Arsenio. And it's about his adventures, his inventions. Okay, who is maybe an inventor and misadventures in flight. Inventor of maybe he invents things that make him fly. Inventor of things that make him fly. And then it said misadventures, so, and they don't always work, maybe, and they don't always work, or the adventures are bad. Let's just see if that's what we get. All right, and then we have some vocabulary here. Passionate, contribution, eccentric, and remember, these are all highlighted in the text. So let's check some of these out. Oops. So passionate. So this girl is passionate. Like, she really loves her job, her science job of working in a laboratory and problem solving. Is having strong emotions about it. Passionate. Then we come to impulse. These are like, when we have an impulse, it's like this feeling where we just want to do it and we don't really think about it. It's just, we want to hug that puppy. Sometimes we have something to say and we just burst out and say it out loud, and then we're like, I probably shouldn't have said that. That's an impulse that you had. It's the desire to do something, but in reality, people think of impulses as something you think about before you really consider if that was the right thing to do. You just want to do it. That's all you know. Contribution. So I am contributing to your education, and Mr. Wilder is also contributing to your education by being your teacher. So we're giving you something. The Wright brothers' contribution to flight and the history of flight is that they invented the first airplane, the Wright brothers. So let's see, distinguished. This is a lot like prestigious and prestigious. It's you can see he's holding this really cool award, and he's really proud, and he's dressed really nice. Is known. It's like you're known and respected for your excellence. So it can be you can be the teacher of the year for the whole Austin ISD. That would be a very distinguishing award. I'm sure many of your parents have won distinguishments. Let's see, eccentric. This guy looks eccentric. He's like, it's where you think outside the box, and people don't necessarily think you're normal, but that's a good thing. You don't really want to be normal. You want to be you. But the whole idea is that someone eccentric is odd, but don't worry, it's good to be eccentric as long as you still use social norms.